I love this thing, man.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In this video, we are going to hang two windows, a single hung 3040 that you see there to the left, and a 6050 around the back side. We are using Siga tape. We got to go and visit Siga headquarters last summer in Switzerland. Siga did send us the tape, so I think technically that makes this video sponsored. We just want to show you a different way of flashing windows. Extremely high quality products. So let's get into it. This is the Siga Reson, like Nissan, Reson. Apparently I've been pronouncing it incorrectly. Split liner, you saw, it is a tenacious hold. And then, I'm sorry, they send us out that little mini J roller. Yeah, make sure you roll the tape though.
All right. So that's how it goes in. And that way you don't have to fart around with that origami.
Yeah.
It becomes some kind of master
Origamist.
origamist. Yes. What is it, Noah, that you call a master origamier?
An origamist.
An origamist. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Very cool at Siga headquarters outside of Lucerne. But last summer, this was basically a prototype that we all got to try out. And now, here it is in person. Makes it really easy to take care of pan flashing your corners.
I'm just gonna,
because
yeah,
it's all one piece.
That's pretty easy.
And it had a
Just
little
aim that
reinforced corner.
in.
I'll show a close-up a little bit later in the video.
And then just lining it up straight.
Full disclosure, this is only the second
Yes, that's
corner
pretty cool.
that I have ever installed. We each got to do one last summer in Lucerne. This is number 2. So I'm going slow because I got to figure out what's the fastest way to install these and what's the cleanest. I don't really want wrinkles, mostly for aesthetics. There you can kind of see the reinforced corner. Now, what's the point of a pre-made corner like this? Well, if you've used other flashing
I'll do better on the
systems that
next
don't
one.
have pre-made corners or something that can stretch, then you're using multiple pieces of tape. It gets slow, not really complicated per se, but anytime that you have multiple pieces, you're
And then I think
introducing
maybe that's the trick.
increased risk due
Just
to error.
Go right into the corner.
With a pre-made corner like this, it's pretty much idiot-proof. Once you figure out how to install it quickly and without wrinkles, then you can teach. So for this, I was like, I'm going to film this whole video, and that way you, the viewer, can see it. It also serves as a reference for Kyle and Noah, and essentially it's internal training for our company. Noah went ahead and finished, and Kyle finished all these windows while I was gone. And I know that they were installed correctly.
I feel like that's like Job on Arrested Development trying to throw the letter into the water, and it just blows right back at him. Oh, good old Gob. Diddle-doo, diddle-doo-doo. Oh yeah. Magnifique, as they say in Switzerland. Parts of Switzerland. Magnifique. Also, sehr gut. Okay, well that was not difficult.
An expression I like to use is braces and belts. You might know it as belt and suspenders. I don't see any value in applying sealant to the backside of the flanges. We have blower door tested our windows and found them to be airtight without the sealant. But notice that giant sticker on the window? The instructions from the company tell us that we have to. So
Good
that's
enough
what we
for
do.
now.
Set it,
Right on the corners where the mullion is strongest.
and then space it, and then you screw it.
Yeah, you just follow my direction. So, yep, pencils right on the corner. And my job now is to just not get caulking all over my hands. And I'll lift it in. All right, so if you center the bottom, guess how many times the guy on the outside thought the guy on the inside had the window?
Yeah.
All right, so you're centered?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm showing the top needs to go to your right just a little bit. Do we have room in the opening to do that?
Yeah.
It's going to be like almost nothing.
Yeah, I can almost see it in
Okay, go. Don't do anything yet. We're gonna do it all in a very specific order. You got a hold of the window? Okay, what I'm gonna do is get up on that side. You go ahead and pry it up just a little bit. You go just a hair more. Oh yeah, I like it. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is just check it for square. And then I might check it for level just to see. I'm glad I wore sunscreen. 69 1/4. And 69 1/4 strong. And that is good because we got slightly different. Yeah, and if you keep your hand right there and keep it flat. So if it's plumb and square, it should be level, right? So I'll do the bottom and then the top. Yeah, I was gonna do that. Okay, let me just screw coming down.
These are Simpson Strong
now you're
Tie
good,
wafer
your
head
hand's free.
screws. They're great for cabinets too. We love them for setting windows. I know a guy that has many times smashed a window hand nailing. So the order of operations is that we flash the sill first, put sealant on the nailing fin, the backside of the nailing fins. We set the window, center it at the bottom. In this case, because it's taller than it is wide, I go ahead and I check it for plumb. Then I check it for square. Anything square to plumb is level, or anything square to level is plumb. Okay? Then we screw the whole thing in. A single hung window, there's not much to it. Then, once it's fastened, we flash the legs. The legs are the two vertical 6-inch pieces, the one I'm currently installing or pulling the liner. Now, I try to minimize ladder work whenever I can, and so in this case, I went ahead and pre-cut the head piece. That goes on over everything. So we're shingling just like you would shingle a roof, right? We start at the bottom, everything overlaps working to the top. Now, one thing not covered in this video is the trim detail, mostly because I don't know what it is. Sometimes we'll try to do the trim at the same time. Not in this case. If we did do the trim, then we would install the trim, we would put metal drip cap on top of that, and then we would tape that. Okay, so now let's get into the window in the back. This is a 6050 double single hung.
So the trick
So that
is
is a closer
and now
look
since
at
I'm short enough,
the Reson corner.
I can just get right in
and
there.
you can see that it's reinforced. The split liner actually does make it much easier to install. Now, mind you, this is only the third corner I have ever done. I personally find something very, I don't know, satisfying about pulling the liner, even the sound of it. By the way, go to Instagram and go to Sega North America. Just type that in and search. Direct message them and say, hey, I would like to try a sample of your product. I have absolutely no idea if they will send you a sample, but try it. Tell them Tim from Awesome Framer sent you. That has never unlocked a door for anyone, nor has it ever gotten anyone a discount, but the Swiss are some pretty awesome people, so let's just try it. And report back and let me know how it went.
That's definitely the way to do it. And pre-folding it seems to kind of help just a little bit. Okay. So stay right there. Let's see. Lean your face in just a little. Let's see. If I go.
Tell me why, darling.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a coyote.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a framer.
Tell me why.
I'm gonna hang this window using.
With our hands.
That's my favorite
What?
4-syllable word.
What does that even mean? I hate this step. See how I'm resting the nozzle, the sweet nozzle on the... Look at that. Whoa.
Don't call it a sweet nozzle.
Don't see see how it's finding his face?
That's sick.
Isn't that trippy?
That's wild.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're back. Okay. Without getting caulking on your hands. And I'm gonna rotate that way.
Yeah. Let me readjust my grip. Alright.
Are you using your muscles?
And I got caulking on my hand.
I didn't. Make sure there's none that gets on the camera.
Yeah.
I would have put money that no would trip on one of these things. Okay, I got a hold of it. So you just tell me when you got a shim on the sides and the middle. That way the mullions are nice and supported. Right now I'm holding up the entire wall. Bottom's good. Okay, you like that. Does you like it? 'Cause I like it like this.
I like it like.
Okay, we're fairly level. I just can't stand the way that those mullions are. And we're like dead plumb. How does it look in the opening?
It's tight up in this corner.
Okay. 93. So whenever they're 93. So whenever they're double single hung like this, there's always these fasteners down here and the glue. It messes up the level. So plumbing it, I think plumbing square is just a better way to do it. And we're dead on the money. So I think I'm just gonna leave that. So I'll just go all four corners and then we'll check for straight. Oh man, look at this. Can you believe it? Look at that. This must be 9 foot tall. And one tab down. Okay, so just, I'm gonna check for straight. That looks good. So I think the middle could go up a hair. Let's try it. Can you pry up just a little bit in the middle?
Maybe. Let's see. About all I got. We're on the header.
Okay. Okay. Let me get 2 screws in. Let me take a look at it with my other eye. I think that's okay. Framer fingers. Look at that caulking smear out. Cool. Then I'll just blitz the bottom. Oh, I love this ladder. I really do. I can get to this whole thing from right here. All right, now I gotta switch hands. Cool. That would actually be pretty smart. Now this ladder is made with this rubber bumper. This is what I love about the Little Giant, is it is made to lean against the wall.
Here is a pro tip for you. I pretty much never cut tape to length. I mean, I know I do somewhere here and there, but you notice that I just started at the top, worked my way down, and then cut it to length. This doesn't have to be like perfectly cut to length. You notice it's a little longer than the one below. I just find this to be efficient. I try to minimize ladder work whenever I can. This was pretty easy because I could actually reach the top of the window. That's not usually the case. That was quite a luxury. Okay, so let me explain one thing. This is worth doing some research on. The textured panel of the zip creates what is called high surface tension, which makes it easier for the adhesive in these tapes to bond. The adhesive basically fills in the highs and lows, and that textured surface is what helps with adhesion. It's almost like they designed it that way. So think of it this way. What happens when it rains on your car when it is freshly waxed? Well, the rain just beads right off. But what happens when it's not waxed? Well, those beads don't necessarily just come off. That's due to the higher surface tension. So there you go. There's a nice lesson for you that I just learned literally this last week. Incidentally, the Siga tape is not cheap, if you can find it, but it sticks tenaciously well.
Okay, so just FYI, once it's trimmed, we're gonna have another row of tape on the metal, so. Okay, let's shut those down real quick.
We aren't done yet, but please hit that like and subscribe button. I very much appreciate it.
Little Giant, for when you're tiny and have a giant ego. Now, I mean, we'll do a.
I need to hit record.
Okay, yes, let's do it. I'll try to randomly think of things. Like I'll have the Big Stretch laying down.
Okay.
This is what I love about the Little Giant, is it is made to lean against the wall. Little Giant, for when you're tiny, but have a giant ego. Little Giant ladders. Big Stretch, for when you're big and need to stretch. Big Stretch, because your muscles are tight. Big Stretch, for when you're big and need to stretch because of tight muscles. Big Stretch. Siga!